Hey everyone, and welcome back to Gaming with Amy. I hope you're all doing well. As someone who games almost every day, I try out a lot of different titles and types of games, and there certainly isn't a shortage of titles to discover. That's one of the great things about the state of gaming today. There's something for everyone. Simply open up Steam, and the world of gaming is at your fingertips. There are, of course, going to be things you love and hate about your interests and hobbies. Maybe it's a specific genre of film you despise that studios throw huge budgets at. You could love a singer who you think is particularly underrated. What I'm trying to say is, I have lots of opinions about cozy gaming, and I thought I'd share them with you here today. Just one thing before we dive in. I'd super appreciate it if you could like this video and subscribe if you'd like to see more cozy gaming content from yours truly. With that in mind, let's get into my cozy game hot takes.
Ooh, hot take.
Pixelated graphics have oversaturated cozy gaming. I have to admit, the single game I had in mind for this point is Stardew Valley. I know it's beloved, but it just isn't for me. I don't think I've played it longer than a few hours. There's a lot I don't enjoy about Stardew, but one thing I really couldn't get on board with is the pixelated graphics. I get it, it's a cute throwback to the early days of gaming, and that's completely fine, but for some reason my brain does not like squinting at pixelated flowers and animals. I like details. I like hand-drawn graphics. Sue me. Pixelation just makes the game completely unplayable for me. And don't get me started on the seemingly millions of carbon copies of Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley with a graveyard. Stardew Valley, but you manage a tavern too. Stardew Valley, but it's whimsical and it has a Totoro stand-in apparently. All these are pixelated, by the way. Look, I'm not a complete hater. There are certainly some pixelated games I love, like Unpacking and Bug and Seek. Of course, neither is a farming simulator, and they're actually fun and not frustrating to play, so that might have something to do with it too. And on that note,
Ooh, hot take.
farming sims are stressful. Forgive me, because now I'm actually going to be a hater. Farming sims are stressful and not at all fun to play. I will not accept any other opinion or viewpoint. The Supreme Court actually just did a ruling on this, and they said I'm right. Seriously though, I don't get why people think these things are fun. I cannot manage my own life, so why would I think supporting an entire economy with my crops in a fictional game is relaxing? And all the weeds just grow back. This is a game, not real life. And look, I don't mind if there's some farming in a game, so long as I can avoid it or not have to plant crops in order to progress in the game. Yonder, the Cloudcatcher Chronicles is a good example of this. I don't know, I guess I just don't get it, and that's fine. There's plenty of other stuff out there for me.
Ooh, hot take.
Horror games can be cozy. Scary, creepy stuff. My favorite topic. I don't think I'll have to pull any teeth for someone to agree with me, but I fully believe that horror-adjacent games can be cozy. I'm not saying that the Mortuary Assistant is cozy. It scared the shit out of me, and while I love that experience too, that isn't what I'm talking about. Cozy horror games can offer that homey feel I mentioned earlier, but with some sort of uncanny or off-putting element. The horror fanatics know exactly what I'm talking about. To give you some examples, I'll share a couple of cozy horror games I love. One that's incredibly well done is Little Misfortune. It's a narrative-based game where you play as a sweet, innocent little girl named Misfortune. And yes, she isn't having a great time. Plus, your choices matter, so don't expect to take the back seat in this one. Also, the voice acting is amazing and the art style is beautiful, meaning it's easy to become lulled into a false sense of security. Oxenfree and Oxenfree 2 Lost Signals are, in my opinion, a little less tense in the blood department than Little Misfortune. They'll still get your heart rate up though. I won't get into too many details, mostly because I can't remember exactly what happens, but these are very story-driven and another case in which your choices matter. So yeah, as it turns out, you can relax with a spooky game. Or maybe I'm just a weirdo.
Ooh, hot take.
Releasing a game before it's actually finished. Let's be honest. The cozy game market is saturated, and I'm sure it's harder than ever to have your game stand out. Sometimes this results in games being pushed out before they're finished. On one hand, I think it's cool that gamers get the opportunity to try out early access games that are actively in development. You kind of feel like you're part of the creative process. However, when that early access costs money, I'm talking more than $10, that's when I have a problem with this model. I completely understand that indie developers are probably dreadfully underfunded, lacking the time and resources they need to make a game as polished as possible. In fact, I'm more forgiving to smaller teams. It's rough out there. But when a larger developer has a bigger budget, there's really no excuse. It's dishonest and a good way to lose followers and support. And personally speaking, I don't make a ton of money, so I'm not willing to spend money on early access games anymore. Unless I hear an early access game is worth the money, I've sworn off of them.
Ooh, hot take.
Poorly written dialogue ruins the game. I'm a reader, and hopefully a decent writer, so I especially appreciate narrative games with great dialogue, and I think those are far and few between. Bad dialogue sticks out like a sore thumb to me, and it can even ruin the gameplay experience for me in certain circumstances. As an example, I recently played Gone Home again for the first time in many years, and the writing is incredible, especially given how the story unfolds. The main dialogue in the game comes from the younger sister character Sam, told in clues after you find said clue. Another game with great dialogue and storytelling is one I just mentioned, Little Misfortune. There's a voice that's narrating the story, presumably Satan, and that voice is inside Misfortune's head that gives just the right amount of information away without being too expositional. It's a very fun back and forth dynamic that keeps you on your toes. I also think dialogue can get in the way of actual gameplay, specifically when you're playing something more adventure or quest-based. I end up just clicking through most of the dialogue because frankly, I really don't care what they have to say. An example of this is Cozy Grove. In order to progress in the game, you have to do various tasks for ghosts on the island of Cozy Grove. As you complete tasks, your relationship grows with that ghost. Unfortunately, the ghosts are really long-winded, so I end up quickly skipping through the dialogue. Plus, I find the dialogue I have read kind of cringe, so that might have something to do with it. So, those are my hot takes. Do you agree or disagree with any of them? Do you have any spicy takes of your own? Let me know in the comments down below. I'll be back soon with some more cozy gaming content. As always, thanks so much for watching. That's a spicy!